This is Six Music. From the BBC, this is Six Music.
Where the emails are pouring in for the lady who's sitting opposite me now. Hello.
Hi there.
Welcome to Six Music.
Thank you.
Last time we came to the UK, I don't think we even existed. We're just 1 year old next week.
Really? Yeah, it was about a year and a half ago.
I remember you coming into Radio 1. I used to work across the road at Radio 1.
Cool.
In fact, I wonder if you pass on a message, because Susanna Hoff borrowed a pair of pantyhose off me. Because she didn't have any. And she'd
she
snagged
said,
hers.
I ladded my tights. Liz, can I borrow your tights?
And I never got them back. Not that I wanted the same pair, but I thought she might have popped them in the post. So the good news is, and the reason that one of the reasons you're in the UK is that you're playing live to a couple of gigs, aren't you, in about a fortnight's time?
Yeah, we're playing the 19th in Manchester and 20th at the Shepherd's Bush. And we've got a new album and things are happening.
Well, we've got the album here. Somebody can win it this afternoon. We'll talk about that
very
show.
nice.
But we've got to get backtrack through the last few years just to find out why this is happening now. And I'm sure that you've been repeating this story over and over again. But why did you finally decide, after a big break and people starting families and stuff, to get back in the studio and tour again? What was the trigger for that?
Well, I don't know. As we started to sort of start doing musical things together, we had the first time we all got back together was we had an opportunity to record the song for the Austin Powers Spy That Shagged Me soundtrack. And that was like the first time we got back together, and things just kind of fell right back into place in a kind of a disconcertingly easy kind of way, And as we started writing together and, playing together, I think we all realize that, we're not done yet. I think there's still some music in there that we should get out to the world, and hopefully the world will hear it, So that was just my big hope, that the world could hear it.
So did you benefit from that time apart from each other, do you think?
I think so, yeah.
Because you can get on top of each other, can't you, when you're working together all the time?
Oh, yeah. Well, it gets a little claustrophobic, yeah.
Especially a bunch of girls. I had a band briefly, but in my experience, it can get very, very bitchy very quickly.
I think boys can be bitchy too, but you just don't hear about that,
So the story is that it's a bit like the Monkees. You rented a house in LA so that you could all live and cook and sleep and wash and everything together.
Well, that sounds really cool. That isn't exactly what happened. We rented a house to basically set up Brad Wood's recording gear in to record the album. We basically went home at night, but we were there at the studio, from like 12 to 12 at least, every day. And, kids came over, the dogs came over, friends came over. We had a couple of parties there. It was nice.
Oh, I'm kind of disappointed because I imagined, Susanna in the kitchen making pies while you did your bass line. Vicky out from
in a frilly apron,
porch.
yes.
Yeah,
and
I thought it was so girly and domesticated.
And I'm knitting a doily, yeah.
And I mentioned, people starting families and stuff. What have you done that as well? Have you just hidden away in North Carolina by the beach or something?
What did I do as well? Sorry.
Did you start having babies and stuff like some of the other girls?
No, I didn't do that. I just I escaped from Los Angeles and I moved to this little town in Northern California, and I needed to get away from the whole showbiz yada da 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 thing. I'd had enough of it, because the Bangles was like the 15th band I'd been in, and I was tired.
And what, you just wanted to have a normal life or something?
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but, I just wanted...
Nothing too boring.
Yeah, I just wanted to see what other kinds of lives a person can have,
And could you do that? Could you do that without going to the store or going to the gas station, somebody saying, "It's Michael from the Bangles"?
Well, actually, where I moved, the 80s never even happened, they listen to, like, reggae and the Grateful Dead, and nobody... It doesn't even register. It's amazing. They're still kind of in the 70s.
The Buffalo Springfield then, which is a corny way of getting to the first song that you've chosen. Are you a big Neil Young fan, or do you like everything he's ever been in, or just this specific era, or?
I like most of what he's done. You know, I mean, Arkweld was a little tough for me, you know, but I don't know. I just like the fact that he has the balls to go out and do exactly what he wants. And, you know, I mean, he's done some of the greatest music on earth, you know.
I just love his guitar style. I love his vocal
it's
style.
fantastic, I know.
And the good news is
he's such a great songwriter.
Oh no, he's coming round again this time as a solo artist. He's not got any band with him. No Booker T and the MGs. Nobody. No Ragged. I've lost my mind. You know, one of the incarnations of his bands,
right?
And none of that is apparently just coming in. He's just doing it
pure Neil, unadulterated, uncut.
But here he is with Buffalo Springfield, and your first choice, Expecting to Fly, and then we'll find out from you who you'd like to meet at this party. Okay.
There you stood on the edge of your feather, expecting to fly. Well, I laughed, I wondered whether I could wave goodbye.
The first choice of Michael Steele on the show today.
Chills.
Are the hairs on your arms standing
Oh
on
yeah,
there?
that's always the test, isn't it?
Yeah. So who do you want to meet then at this party? Who would you like to walk in?
Well, I'd like Oscar Wilde to walk in with a nice young fella on each arm, you know.
What, for his wit and
yeah,
repartee?
Absolutely.
And what would you talk to him about, do you think, particularly?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I think he'd have a lot to say about the style that's happening right now. He'd probably have some pithy, scathing remarks to say about it.
And what have you got a favourite quote of his? One of his all-time put-downs?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Actually, I love Whistler's thing. You know, Whistler. He and Whistler were like sort of Mutt and Jeff or something. Actually, nothing comes to mind. I'm having like game show-itis. I can't.
It's all right. I had a blank over Neil Young's band, didn't I? So Crazy Horse. So never mind. We're both in the right. Did you have a late night last night? I did.
A little bit, yeah.
A few lemonades, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
Wee bit of the gargle.
In the heart of London's fashionable West End.
Absolutely.
We're both suffering it. Anyway, I've got some emails for you. This one's from Holland, and it says, congratulations on the number 35 entry in the official German album charts for your new album, Doll Revolution. We'll be hearing a track from that later.
Wow.
Congratulations on making such a flawless record.
Holy moly.
The fans love it, and 90% of the reviewers here like it as well, giving you gals, finally, the respect, credit and praise you always deserved for being a true band and not a cute gimmick.
Holy cow.
Did you ever feel that? Did you ever feel like they couldn't get past, the rah-rah skirts and the nice hair and lip gloss and...
I don't know. I mean, I think we kind of had a sort of musical schizophrenia thing happening where there were like the singles that lots of people knew, and then there was just the album stuff that the fans knew. And it was kind of a different band represented in the singles and then in the album stuff, and then live we sounded very different from the super high-tech 80s, thing, So, I think there was a sort of the part of the thing was the cutesy thing. But I don't know. It was a small part, actually.
What made you pick up a bass guitar in the first place?
Well, in high school I'd been doing kind of a Joni Mitchell acoustic guitar kind of thing, and I was friends with this fellow named Sterling, who was actually one of Ernie Ball's sons. If anybody knows Ernie Ball, he makes guitar strings and things. He's sort of a worldwide known kind of guy amongst musicians, and we went over to his house and he had just tons of instruments and there was a bass there, so I picked it up and I kind of started playing it. I kind of, this is kind of cool, this is kind of cool, maybe if I get good on this the boys will let me play with them.
And did they?
After a while, yeah, grudgingly.
I always think bass players, as I said before, look really cool because they don't have to move around and thrash about as much for impact. They can just stand there going boom, 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 boom on the four strings, can't they?
They do the Derek Smalls thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's really. So, were you glad it was your chosen instrument when you hit the big time?
Most of the time, I am. Yeah, yeah. It's a great instrument, and people think it's a very simplistic instrument, but it's really hard to do well. So I'm still working on that.
Who does it best for you? Because as you might have heard since you've been here, we've been doing putting together a fantasy band for our first birthday and the different categories. And I'll just try and get it up on the screen for you. But there is a bass player category. And I just wondered, who's your bass playing hero?
God, I have a lot. I mean, some of them I can't play like most of them anyway. I mean, John Entwistle.
Or is there a favourite
Colin
song?
Moulding. Colin Moulding is an amazing bass player. Like his oh God, the bass lines on Black Sea is like some of the greatest stuff ever. XTC, they're so amazing.
Is there one song in that's just got the best bass line ever, as far as you're concerned? Or where the bass guitar is truly, used to its full potential as an instrument, where it's comes to the fore. I love Pink Floyd One of These Days because it's used so ominously in that, and it just builds and builds.
True.
It's good use of it, I think.
Yeah, it's hard to think of like the ultimate, the ultimate thing. God.
I know. I'll get all the candidates, the 10 candidates chosen by the listeners up on the screen, and that'll help you whittle it down.
Help me out here, Liz.
You can choose one. All right, while we're doing that, let's dance. What should we have next to dance to? Todd Rundgren was one of your choices.
Yeah, it's a very short dance, but it'll be a slow dance. Actually, you're talking about this, this party thing. I think it's kind of more like one of those kind of laying down kind of parties with everybody smoking on hookahs and sort of lots of sort of absinthe and I think it's kind of like when you get up to go anywhere you have to like step over people. It's that kind of party. So.
Where everybody loves everybody and everybody's best friend in the world ever. Okay, I'll go with that.
I know a place where dreams are born and time is never planned. It's not on any chart, you must find it in your heart. Never, never land.
Todd Rundgren cut off in his prime there, wasn't he? Well, it just segues into the next one, so I had to get in there quick.
I know, that whole album is kind of like one of those big joint with your headphones, album.
I was a little brutal there. Have you ever met him or worked with him or wanted to?
No, he was one of my heroes. I had a giant crush on him when I was young.
I
was young.
Sounds like you've spent your life suffering from unrequited passion and crushes. Oh yeah, I liked him. Did anything come of it? No. Okay, I've got these bass players up for you then. Got Bootsy Collins, Lemmy, Peter Hook, Jack Bruce, Paul Simon and Flea, Paul McCartney, Jean-Jacques Brunel, and I nearly had him down as a bridge builder then, Nicky Wire and John Paul Jones.
God, so this is my choice.
These are the finalists. Well, it could make you think of somebody else, obviously, while you're there.
God, yeah. John Paul Jones is awesome. I would probably pick him, although McCartney is, one of the ultimates. Those would be my two.
Okay.
Although I love Bootsy. You gotta love Bootsy.
You
gotta love Bootsy.
It's just a fantasy thing. We don't have to whittle it down. In fact, Paul McCartney, you've got the Beatles here as well, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
For this party.
Actually, George Harrison was my very first crush.
He wrote this song that you've chosen.
He was the very first crush.
What, you were an unusual girl picking George, weren't you? Do you think, when I was at school, everybody liked Paul.
Well, Paul was pretty hot, and that black T-shirt didn't help, but I don't know. George was my guy. I don't know why.
There's something about him.
Still do. Love you, George.
We used to play the Beatles at school, did you? And everybody used to fight over who they were going to be. And this was weird, because this was a girls' convent that I was at.
Oh, my gosh.
And there was one girl who always used to insist on being Jane Asher. No, never got up to that stuff.
No. Right,
okay, anyway. Can you pass me some more of those emails that listeners have sent to? Because I want to share them with people. Okay. I'm 15. How cool is this? I'm 15 years old. This is from Katie Martinelli, and my favourite band is the Bangles. I'm totally devoted and a die-hard Bangles fan. The sad thing is I've never seen them in concert yet, and I just wanted to tell Michael how much she means to me. Oh, and there's a personal message which you are the goddess of the bass guitar. There you are. You can keep that, you see.
Holy moly.
It's very cool that you're having Michael on your show. I've been a Bangles fan for over 20 years and I'm listening on the web in Los Angeles, California. Can you give her the following message? I think Doll Revolution may be the best Bangles album ever. Okay, we're going to hear from that in a minute. And hi Michael. This is from Sophie in France. I wish you all the best. to wake up with the Bangles music, the UK people. Well, we've opened our ears to it already. Don't worry, Sophie. Here in France, I do all I can. But I have the feeling that people in France sleep with the earplugs as opposed to sleeping with the fishes. I have a new album and I really love it. Thank you so much for being back with the Bangles. She is as red. You're as red as your lipstick here, and they go on and on and on. She is the best bangle. One email said earlier, my favourite bangle. Okay, well, while you're reeling in shock, let's have the Beatles, shall we?
If you're listening to this song, you may think the chords are going wrong.
Well, who else is going to be at this party then?
Oh, well, let's see.
Oscar Wilde.
Mark Bolan was always someone I would have wanted to have met. It would be nice to have him there with a few pretty young things on his arms. And, George Harrison, because I never got to meet him.
Did you not? I thought you must have met him.
I love George. No, a few close calls, like ships passing in the night, but it never happened.
Would you give him a great big hug then?
Oh, yeah.
And what would you like to know?
Well, actually, I'd like to, but I'd probably just be so awe-stricken that I wouldn't, you know.
And is there anything you want to ask him?
God.
How long have you got?
Yeah, I don't know. It's, you know, it must be weird being a Beatle because people just, like, totally spaz out when they meet you, you know. It must get a little old.
Well, he's not a Beatle, but I remember on the subject of fame and
Spazzing out.
living in a strange world and people spazzing out on you. Bob Geldof said, you know, he was sick of people hugging him and kissing him, and you know, I'm not a deity, I'm a human being. Oh, that's a terrible version of Bob Geldof. But anyway, I've got a question for you here from Adrian, who says, how does Susanna Hoff hide the wrinkles? Ooh, girl talk. Is it Botox, baby?
Botox, baby, yeah.
I'm not
She actually, okay, well, here's what I have to say. I think that everybody actually looks better now than they did then, with the exception of me, actually. I really do. I think, I don't know, there's something, I don't know, the wrong side of 40 is highly underestimated as an age. I think everybody's come into their own, really. She's looking at the picture really closely.
I'm looking at the old 80s hairstyles.
Oh, yeah.
They're of their time, aren't they? I mean, I'm guilty as hell. You should see pictures of me at the same time.
It's kind of embarrassing.
I was probably trying to look like you lot, but more cheaply. And the jackets and everything else, and the tops and what have you.
Yeah, it was all very... yeah, there was this one company that made clothes that we used to go to Kensington Market and get. It was called Thunder Pussy. I always loved them. I don't know where they went, but the name was great.
I'm going to flatter you, but it's not unwarranted flattery. But I really somebody whispered in my headphones how old you are, and I would never ever. No, I hope you take that the right way. I would never ever put you, you know. So you look great.
You're not asking me. Okay, good.
No, I'm not asking you. No, I'm just, oh dear, I'm too dangerously near myself, so I'm not going to go there. You just look fantastic. So we're going to play a track now off your new album, which is called Doll Revolution, and as soon as I saw the title, I thought of Elvis Costello, turned it over, and saw that the opening track is his song.
Oh, absolutely.
Tell us how you came to cover that, seeing as it's led to the title of the album.
Well, it's kind of it's a bit of a long story, but the gist of it is that Elvis Costello was writing a treatment. He wanted to do like a TV show that was about an all-girl band. And so this was so he just wrote all these songs, and this was like sort of their anthem, their theme song for this one episode. And he had a demo of him singing it, but he was having trouble pitching it to the LA TV guys, you know, with the big cigars, you know, because they'd hear his voice and not be able to imagine it. So he called up Sue and said, "Can you sing on the demo?" You know, so he could present it to them. See, this is a girl singing. This is what it would be like. And meanwhile, what happens? Sue called me up. We both went down and sang on the demo, and so we got a copy of it. And in the meantime, Elvis didn't pitch successfully to the LA honchos. So that song was just sitting there like it was like a pile of songs, and I kept remembering it and going, this is such a great song. Maybe we can cover this. So we recorded it about the same time that he was recording his version over in Ireland. And I kept going, oh, God, I hope he'll let us do this. I hope he likes it, And the report back is that he does indeed think it's kind of good. That he thinks it's good. So.
Right, well, I haven't heard it yet, so we're going to hear it for the first time after the news, because first of all I want to play a track that you've written, and you chose this, and just say a big thank you, Michael, for coming in. And we'll put a link.
My pleasure.
We'll put a link to our website so that people can find out where you're playing, because you're in a couple of UK gigs, and then you're going to Europe and then to Japan, so all that information coming up. But it's been really great to meet you. And from the Bangles' new album Doll Revolution, this is Michael's song Nickel Romeo.